Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Derajat Takarub. I am a student from International Program for Law and Sharia, Universitas Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta. And now I want to present about the legal protection of coral reef. Of course, it's about the environmental law. So, coral reef are one of the reasons why people go snorkeling into the sea in order to see the beauty of the coral reef itself directly. We said that there are so many types of fish life inside there. Too bad sometimes people can protect the coral reef because they want to obtain more for fish legally. One of them using bomb, which can cause so many bad impacts such as kill the fish, destroy the ecosystem of coral reef, and extract. Actually, the ecosystem of coral reef is legally protected based on the Ministerial Regulation of Marine and Fisheries of the Republic of Indonesia number 24 of 2016 concerning procedure for rehabilitation of coastal area and small island. As we know, there are so many types of sea creatures live under the sea coral. So we must protect the coral reef as good as we can. This will likely discuss about the legal protection about the ecosystem of coral reef because people lately never really concerned about surround environment. The method that will be used in here is normative. The result of this paper is about the protection of the ecosystem. So, you should know about the coral reef are marine system with one of the highest level of biodiversity on the planet and provide a variety of valuable goods and services. It is also the most complex and productive of shallow tropical marine ecosystem. It is also an ecosystem that are vulnerable to environmental changes, but the pressure they experience is increasing along with the addition of population and community activities in coastal area. Even though coral reef only occupy 0.1% of the area of the ocean, but they support 25% of all marine species on the planet. Healthy coral reef are among the most biologically diverse and economically valuable ecosystem on Earth, providing valuable and vital ecosystem services. There are first is biodiversity. Coral reefs are essential spawning, nursery, breeding, and feeding grounds for numerous organisms. In terms of biodiversity, the variety of species living on a coral reef is greater than in any other shallow water marine ecosystem and is one of the most diverse on the planet. Yet, coral reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean floor. Second, coastal protection. Healthy coral reefs have rock curvaces and complex structure that despite much of the force of incoming wave discover shorelines from current wave and storm, helping to prevent loss of life, property damage, and erosion. Third is fisheries. The fish that grow and live on coral reef are a significant food source for over 1 billion people worldwide, many of whom live far from the reef that feed them. Then four is medicine. Many species found in coral ecosystem produce chemical compounds for defense or attack, particularly the slow-moving or stationary species like nudibranchs and sponge. Fifth is tourism and recreation. Every year, millions of scuba divers and snorkeling visit coral reef to enjoy their abundant sea life. So, coral reef ecosystem support fisheries productivity and provide key protein for the community. Degradation of coral reef, either caused by human activities or changes in natural conditions, causes the loss of some national assets, namely the decline in productivity of coral reef resources and biodiversity. They have such as the volume and type of coral and their inhabitant biota. The main there are coral reef is the first is climate change, and it means coral cannot survive if the water temperature is too high. Then second is overfishing. This affects the ecological balance of coral reef communities, warping the food chain and causing effects far beyond the directly overfished population. Third is unsustainable coastal development. Tourist resorts and other coastal infrastructure have been built directly on top of reefs or close enough to them to cause significant damage. Then fourth is pollution. Urban and industrial waste, plastic sewage, agrochemicals, and oil pollution are poisoning reefs. Fifth is sedimentation. Erosion caused by construction, both long coast and in island. Mining, logging, and farming is leading to increased sediment in rivers. Six is destructive fishing practice. This include kinetic fishing, blast or dynamite fishing. Seven is careless tourism. Is about the diving, snorkeling, and fishing happen around the world, with people touching reefs. Eight is coral mining. Live coral is removed from reef for use as bricks, roof fill, or cement for new building. Then coral reefs that have been damaged naturally or due to human activities have the potential to recovery only occurs when the added pressure due to human activities is limited. Optimal conditions for maximum recovery of coral reef ecosystem include: first, a solid algal-free base surface where coral larvae can stick and grow. Second, areas free from overfishing, sedimentation, pollution, and fertilizers, untreated waste, and other material that can reduce growth and affect the survival of coral rejuvenation. The presence of sexually mature adult coral in the area as a provider of new larvae. The ability of undisturbed coral reef far from damages coral reef. To provide larvae will depend on appropriate ocean current and the health of the parent coral reef. Fourth is protection from overfishing to maintain healthy fish population. So over the past few years, there's been a steady increase and interest in a number of coral conservation activities that fall into the broad category of restoration, such as: first is place artificial reef structure on the ocean floor on which coral can grow. Second is grow coral in aquaria and outplant them onto natural or artificial reef. Third is select or genetically engineer coral that have particular traits. Then the rehabilitation of coral reef is done by: first is enrichment of biological resources. Then A is transplant. Then B is making artificial habitat. Then transplanting of coral seedlings planted affixed to the substrate. Media include concentrate, poultry, iron pack, dead coral. Then second is habitat improvement. Weekend prevention or termination of activity that can damage coral reef habitat, and then use application of building construction in accordance with ecological principle, then utilization application of habitat improvement. Then environmental friendly. The use of coral species that have genetic kinship, genetic pool of account for coral reef rehabilitation activities. Then second is prioritizing local raw materials that do not pollute the environment for transplant construction and the creation of artificial coral reef habitats. So coral reef are marine systems with one of the highest level of biodiversity on the planet, and they provide a variety of valuable goods and services. Besides that, it has several values to fulfill the needs of humans from many aspects. The activities that done by human can cause damages to the coral reef itself. That is why we need to protect the coral reef, whether it is directly from our action or the government action through the existing law, even though sometimes the establishment of the law itself is still not aware by the society. And it's I suggest we need to protect the coral reef in order to exercise our own survival. Thank you. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.